Hi everyone, welcome back to Cookies Plays XCOM 2. Alright, so in between the second and third episode, I've done a bit of reading on all of the long work concepts, and so I at least have a vague idea of what's different. And I have to say, from what I've read of the changes, it's really improved the game and added an entire sort of new strategic level to it. So for the start, now let's see what I did in episode 2 and what I'm now going to regret in terms of decisions. Now I still think that's a good idea. So I did a bit of reading, and all of the squad management actually makes sense. So to send, essentially rather
With
than
all
just
that's
doing what
been
you did.
going on, we've never really had time to consider the possibility, but I have to believe Valen is still out there somewhere. She wasn't the type to let the collapse of XCOM stop her research.
Stop foreshadowing while I'm trying to explain to people stuff. Alright, so essentially rather than just going straight onto a mission, you actually have to spend some time infiltrating, and to do that you essentially create a squad of whatever size you want. So we can actually put up to 10 people in a squad, but infiltrating, the more you infiltrate, the less enemies and also the less hard the enemies are going to be to tackle in the actual mission itself. But it takes longer, and you do need to, get on with missions so you can get your resources, and also a lot of missions will have a strict time limit. So if you put together a large squad, like that 8-man squad that I just had, obviously it'll be easier to send them on missions because, more 20% shots to take. But on the flip side, it's going to take a lot longer to actually get to the point where it's infiltrated and the missions are going to be achievable, rather than just sending them straight in and everything going pear-shaped immediately. So, what I might do is I'm going to create 2 new squads now. I'll create a squad of 6 people and a squad of 8 people, so a big squad and a small squad, and I'll see exactly what they do. Another thing that's also changed is, rather than giving out a lot of XP based on how many kills you get, it's based on the mission it goes to, and there's essentially a pool from the mission based on how many enemies and what kind of enemies you killed. That gets distributed evenly to all participants. So if I only have a 4-man team and I kill a lot of enemies, it's going to give me a lot more XP per soldier than just sending out 10 people and killing 5 enemies. So there's going to be a balance, and I think the only way I'm going to be able to find that optimal balance is by just creating squads and going with it. What I might do... Alright, straight off the bat, I'm going to create 3 new squads. I'm going to have a super small squad, which is just going to be 4 people. They're going to go on missions which are easier, but so they can infiltrate it quicker, get rid of a lot of aliens, and hopefully that should allow them to survive okay. I'll then do a I'll then do another 6 squad, another 8 squad. How many recruits do I have? We'll see how I go with creating those squads first. So, alright, I'm going to try and cherry pick these with the best stats. Alright, so we've got health, movement. That number isn't actually... It's kind of weird, the distances in these games. Everything is on a grid, but the movement is sort of an actual distance to take into account going diagonally. That's will. All that panicking that I did in the first episode, less likely to happen if they've got higher will, also more resistant to psi attacks. Hacking is mostly only useful if you become a technician, or at least in the base game it was mostly useful if you're a technician. Essentially allows you to do the aforementioned defuse robots. Defuse? Disable. Disable robots and hack into them. What does curvy mean? I have no idea what the curvy arrow is. I'm assuming greater number is good. And then you got your aim, which is going to be one of the most important stats immediately, just because otherwise no one's going to shoot anything. And defense, which is also going to be good for making sure my soldiers survive more than one hit. So I'm going to put together what I think is probably going to be the most powerful team into my team of 4. So I'm looking for well-balanced stats. Let's have a look. So I probably want more into the defense and survivability stat, because they're going to be on their own. And losing one soldier is going to be a much worse thing when it's a smaller team. So I'll go with you. You look like you... Oh, I should probably actually create squad first. That'll do it. Assign soldiers. Let's go. So I'll assign you, because I think you're a decent squad member. Good defense. Oh, very low health though. Because he's got excellent defense, excellent aim, but very low health. I'll give him a shot. Oh wow, I really do not... I thought my pool looked a lot bigger when I was looking at that. Alright, maybe I will actually have to recruit some soldiers as I go through. Recruiting is going to be important. Everything I knew about this game has changed. Yeah, why not? I'll let you in because you've got plenty of health. And I'll do... you can be my glass cannon of the team. Okay, so I've got my 4-man squad. Marauders, yep, that's fine. Or mortarers, rather. Yeah, I can't say things. Keystone, yep. So I'll just add 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do I make another 8 squad or a 6 squad? Yeah, I'll make a 6 squad. That way I can actually see what the difference between the sizes are. And see how much that actually makes in terms of just general mission difficulty, experience, and infiltration times. So, who am I adding? Or I'll pick the 3 I don't want to add. Your aim is so crap, but your defense is so good. Alright, I'll add you, I'll add you. I don't know why I'd add you. Also not entirely keen on you. I'll add you. You got no health, but your defense is too far to go past. Your aim is okay, but your defenses are terrible. How much do I have to add? 3 more. You just seem pretty average, so I'll go with you. It's got a score of 18 for Squiggly Line. I need more Squiggly Line on my team. And I guess out of the rest of them, this is the next best. Alright, let's go with that. Alright, so, and then I've got 3 rupees left if I need to do anything with them. Can't do anything with 3 though. But I'm going to need subs for the first couple of months for these 2 soldiers, so they're going to be out for a while. Okay, yeah, I'm happy with that. Alright, so I'll set up my squad, so let's actually go back now and start playing the game. So I found out what the resistance counters mean and what they actually do. So, it's from here, yeah. So, supplies get me more supplies each month, so if I'm running low on currency, I can get chuck more people in there to build up. That might be very useful doing early on, but apparently the results taper off as you get later, you know, as in real life they go for the low-hanging fruit first and then things start becoming more scarce in the region. There's recruiting, gets me more soldiers but also generates more resistant members for this haven itself, so it's like separate base management to just the ship. Intel, not only is that useful for generating Intel, the currency, which I spend on you know, generating missions, and also can trade that in for supplies in a pinch. And I think it's also used on the black market as well. But that also gives me missions, and so rather in the first game, essentially, well, rather in base XCOM 2, all the missions are just generated for you and you just go around and try and do as many as you can. In this, you actually have to seek out the missions in order to get anywhere at all. Like, if you don't do any scanning or anything, missions just aren't going to pop up and the aliens are just going to overrun you. Also some other really interesting balance decisions they've made compared to, and I'll sort of outline them as they become more apparent. But for now I'll go with that, so I'll keep everything on default and see how that goes. I don't really have an idea of what I want to specialise in first. I mean, I don't know, it might be worth just going for like an immediate supply dump, but I feel like I want to test everything out, test out the waters before I start specialising. So now I'm here then. I've already done what I wanted to do at the black market, so let's start scanning and see if we can get some missions to pop up. So time's gonna go really fast.
Although we have allies scattered in cities throughout the globe who are willing to share their knowledge of Advent's operations, the aliens are actively pursuing them. It will be up to you to ensure the safety of our operatives, Commander. Good luck.
Okay, so first mission, and it's a council mission. So these are directed straight from the big guy himself. So just in case I didn't cover that off, the guy who, the mysterious masked man, or, you know, shadowy man, he was originally in charge of the council, which in XCOM 1 helped create a sort of worldwide underground effort, sort of separate from United Nations and governments and etc. That got completely thrashed, so he's now apparently infiltrated the aliens himself and is able to sort of pass on information from us and try and help rebuild the resistance from the ground up. So from here we're going to go have a mission. Extremely light, excellent. Baby steps, baby steps. Extract VIP from Advent City, free an important prisoner. Oh, I've got 2 objectives in a mission. This is new. Usually it'd only be one, like for example it'd be extract VIP or it'd be, you know, free important prisoner, but missions with 2 things. It's going to be interesting. Alright, and if I do well, I get an engineer, great. And no, I don't regret purchasing the engineer before this one come up, because I will never not have a job for an engineer. Especially in this game when you can assign engineers to actual resistance havens and get them to generate more resources. So, learn to escapee from Advent Facility can hold resistance. We have a brief opportunity. Oh god, it's a timed mission. To extract this person. Alright, Western US. Into selecting a squad. Okay, so this is where the infiltration mechanics come in. So I'm going to select my squad of 4 because I want to see exactly how long it takes to infiltrate and how much benefit infiltrating is. I assume I'm going to want to get to at least 100% infiltration to make things easier for me. The guy did say that extremely light, the enemy activity is never going to get any lower than that, but I still think there's probably going to be rewards in it for me if I do infiltrate more. So, I'm going to send my small squad, base infiltration 4 days, with the modifiers, so, because I've got a small squad, it's going to take nearly a day less. I've got 6 days and 6 hours to follow up on this one. To get to 100% infiltration rate, it's going to take 3 days and 5 hours. I can get all the way up to 200%. Again, I'm not sure how much use that's going to be in this mission necessarily, because the enemy activity is already extremely light. But at the same token, being extremely light, I feel like I want to send my smaller group because it's a very interesting sort of choice I'm trying to make me make, because if I send the smaller group, it's going to be a harder mission, but it's easier to infiltrate, so I make the mission easier for myself. So do I want to send them on harder missions initially, or start them off in missions which are hard and then infiltrate enough that they become easier, or do I want to send them on easier missions just because, you know, they're going to be a smaller squad anyway? I'll have to figure that out as I go along. But anyway, for the moment, I'm going to send this squad and see how it all rolls out. At least it'll give me a baseline for what I can expect in terms of when the game says enemy light, whether it's like, here, have 5 Advent troops, or like, here, have 5 sectoids, an Advent troop, and a giant mech. Alright, so these are all rookies. I'm not so sure what they're going to do. So, everyone getting a flashbang, everyone getting a grenade. I don't think there's like any other options. Oh, there are other options. Wait, pistol isn't... Oh, you have to actually equip a pistol. Right, ceramic plating. So in the last episode, or the first episode, when I was wondering why I didn't actually take damage, turns out all soldiers start with ceramic plating to increase their survivability just that little bit at the start of the game, which is nice, because any damage you take that's not to the armor is going to immediately send you to the sick bay for God knows how long. Flashbangs and grenades are going to be intensely useful. I might want to equip a few smoke grenades. Pistols lose accuracy at long ranges, 5 to single action. Don't think it's worth putting a pistol on any one of these in particular just yet. I'm gonna want to have someone at least have one medkit on them. I want to have a smoke grenade on there too, because a smoke grenade is essentially... Like, the way I treated it in the original XCOM 2 was an emergency cover, so if there's a soldier left out of cover for whatever reason, just throw a smoke grenade and hope to hell that gives them enough dodge to survive the turn and then pull them back out. So instead of a flashbang, you can have a smoke grenade. I'm going to keep all the grenades on there because destroying cover is going to be a lot more important with all of these 20% rolls the game's... Yeah, there's huge... So, because I constantly seem to be complaining about 20%, when in the base game, like when you first started off, even if you were taking, like, you know, bad shots, you know, behind cover, and, you know, the enemy was behind cover, and you had a bad angle, and you weren't that close, you're still getting at least, you know, 40 to 50% chance to hit. So it's a huge drop from what you'd expect from base game, and it was like that in the original Long War 2, so I'm not sure why I'm surprised, but... I'll give you the med kit, and then I'll get rid of one of the normal grenades, and give them... Hold on, I've already given them a smoke grenade. Everyone's keeping the ceramic plating on, I'm not getting rid of that, that's far too useful. One med kit and smoke grenade should be okay. You know what, I'll add another smoke grenade. Alright. Ready to go. Oh, actually I'll see if they do have any other weapons. I think you start out with a submachine gun. Yep. Alright, so what's the difference? So assault rifle's got 3 damage, 3 to 5 damage, 3 clip size, bog standard gun. SMG gives you 1 less damage, less ammo, gives you more mobility though, so lets you run around. Gives you better concealment. Do less damage, have less damage, some extra penalties. Oh, I think these are going to be very tactical. I'm just going to keep bog standard assault rifles on for the moment. Yep, alright, so ready to go. Infiltration start. Okay, starting infiltration. So, 1% infiltrated. Alright, don't have much else to do at the moment while I'm waiting for them to infiltrate, so... Let's scan. New high priority mission. Oh god, the missions are coming fast. Okay, so the Resistance is giving every mission. Alright, extract a VIP from Advent City, again, find a lead. Another engineer and an intel package. Managed to escape an FF of no potentially enemy. Alright, apparently I'm sending another crew. Extremely light. That'll just have to be my next... my other squad. This is Keystone. Yep, the 6-man squad. I've only got 5 days to infiltrate this. It's going to take 5 days by itself to do it. Alright, but it's extremely light still, so I should be okay with sending a 6-man squad. Let's do it. And you'll notice I'm sending out all my rookies. Just getting your rookies experience in the early game is really, really important. You don't want to sort of, you know, only have 2 good squads, get to the end game, and it's like, oh, all of my good squads are out, and this high priority, like, go save the resistance bases come up, and I've got literally no one who knows how to hold a gun. Alright, that's already 15% infiltrated. Okay, keep scanning, I guess.
Commander, as the resistance continues to grow, we'll have a better chance of finding openings to strike back at Advent. As it is, we've already identified a potential target to disrupt the aliens' operations in this region. Our window of opportunity is limited, so we'll have to move fast.
View target. 38 intel. Recover an item, find a lead. Alright, so at some point I'm actually going to have to start choosing which missions I do and don't go on. How much time have I got for this one? Alright, so this is my non-rookie squad. 2 are still in the sick bay at the moment, so it's only going to be a 6-man squad. Oh, I forgot to change the weapons on the other squad! Oh, I'm an idiot! Okay, that's going to be a fun mission. 5 days, 13 hours, 5 days, 6 hours, perfect, so I'm going to be able to get to 100% infiltration from that. Alright, so, these are specialists though, so I'm definitely going to want to mix and match them. Alright, so, Ranger. What have you opened up for me? Alright, I can give him the shotgun. What ability does he have? I'm gonna hope it's something good for the shotgun. Ammo... Oh no, he's already got a sworn-off shotgun. 2 shots per mission without upgrades. Oh, okay, so that's 2 shots and you're done. No reloading, no nothing. Ceramic plating is on. Concealable pre-evasion weaponry. So it's a 5 and 9, so that's a really good damage. And I've only got 2, and I've got a good critical chance. Extremely effective at close range. Actually drops off. It's 3d8 damage though. Might want a couple of shotguns on my thing. I'll see who else I've got. Who have I got? I've got the... Or can just anyone... Okay, it looks like anyone can use a shotgun once they're upgraded, so I'm not going to give everyone a shotgun. Alright, Gauntlet. Can fire a rocket or spray flames. Can only do one or the other. Looks like I've only got 1 ammo. Rocket launcher has 1 rocket initially. Anything in sight. Short range has 2 charges and does not damage mechanical units without upgrades. Okay, so I can use a rocket launcher once, flamethrower twice. 1 action, ends your turn. Yep, rocket range, rocket radius, yep, okay. So if he's got rockets, he probably doesn't need grenades. So I will give him a smoke grenade. Ceramic plating, assault rifle, yep, happy with that. Gunner. Oh, this is me! Ha! Yep, so gunners can only carry combat knives. They don't get any sort of other secondary weapon. Knife attack requires 1 action, does not end your turn. Oh, cool, so you can just constantly stab, crit chance and aim. Cannon. Yep, that's the only thing you can equip. Again, he's going to be not the best for mobility, so I could equip a pistol to him. That'd give him a bit more close quarters. Oh dear. Oh no, I'll just keep the grenades on him. Grenades are useful. Grenades are my friend. Speaking of grenades, who's this? Alec. Assault rifle, grenade launcher. So essentially any grenades he has on him increases the range of all of his grenades and increases the radius of them. So I'm going to want him to have 1 of each type of grenade. Just to give him the most utility. Yep. Who's this? Angus. Ex-Gremlin. So he's probably going to be the medic-ish support role. So we can have those. Now, do I still have enough normal grenades left? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I might not mess with his load. I've got enough. Still see what he is. He is the swordsman. Okay, so they seem to have wanted to give him the SMG straight art, but I guess that's because he's more of an infiltration specialist, and so having the lighter weapon gives him more concealment. Okay. Sort of soldier attack. Precision enemy melee combat. Exercise course room. Edge weapon effectiveness. Yeah, alright. Yeah, I'll keep those grenades on him. I think I've got enough. Let's see, I've got a lot of flashbangs. I could probably get rid of one of those flashbangs, put another smoke in. Alright, I think that's everything. Alright, infiltration, start. So I've got all of my squad out at the moment. I can't send another squad if I wanted to deal with any other missions, because I've only got 3 members left, and you need at least 4 for a full squad. Start infiltration. But what I can do is I can wait till one of these gets to 100, or, you know, depending if I want to risk it, go earlier, bring them back, and then start a new infiltration. Alright, so, nothing else to do. I'm still waiting for my tech to research, still waiting for the Warfare Center to build. Alright, just keep going.
These findings will likely prove crucial to our ongoing efforts.
Hooray, science! Okay, assign new research. Alright, so I can build resistance comms, resistance radio, and resistant contacts available. Yep. Right, so this will allow me to start setting up my network, making contacts with the other regions. The more regions I can get on board, the more I can go on other missions and also get more supplies and do all sorts of stuff, but it's also more I've got to worry about and defend. And also there's a limited amount of regions I can contact at the one time. So, increases the number of regions we can make contact with. Yeah, so it's a resistance comp building. Initially I think I get a couple of contacts I can make for free, but I'm going to need to build a bunch of those to make more contact. Alright, so what do I want to go with next? I've done the comms. Basic research is still going to take way too much time. Engineering research takes way too much time. So it's one of resistance radio, establish ground-based relays, further spread out reach. Havens will be more efficient operations, easier to reach some of those outlying regions far from HQ. I don't need that. Don't need that just yet. I think I'd rather research modular weapons to start with. Start getting some of these upgrades onto my weapons.
I foresee a number of valuable applications stemming from this technology. I'll have a report assembled as soon as the research is complete.
Another issue I think I'm going to run into with this playthrough.
The aliens have considerable resources at their disposal, but we've still managed to do reasonably well against them, despite our own limitations.
Thanks for that hint. I might turn those off. Those are starting to get a little bit annoying. Alright, yeah, so one of the main things that I did in my
We've been picking
vanilla...
up some weird transmissions lately. It sounds a little like German, but it's hard to tell.
Stop foreshadowing the DLC so hard. I've lost my train of thought completely now. Yes, no. Yeah, essentially because I'd only ever have one squad out at any one time, I would just essentially upgrade a few key good weapons and then, you know, cycle them through. So when one squad was resting, or, you know, I was cycling through more soldiers to get them experience, I'd immediately give them the upgraded weapons that everyone else was using. Because there's going to be so many concurrent missions, so to speak, going on at once, I feel like my resources are going to be spread a lot more thin. So we'll see how that works out in terms of making sure my army is well equipped. Alright, so I think what I'll do... So I've already set that up, still waiting for that to build. I only still got the one engineer. Alright, now, how are my infiltration going? Communications.
We can now work to establish contact with local resistance groups operating out of regions around the globe. Once we've collected sufficient intel to make contact, we'll need to scan the target region for the operative signal.
Okay, so can now contact the surrounding regions. So New Mexico, East Asia. That's an interesting. I wonder if that's a balance change or something, because in XCOM 2 the base, you had to work your way from one side of the world to the other. You couldn't go straight from Asia to America. There was just too huge a gap. You sort of had to make your way through Europe and Africa to get there. But it looks like they've just said, no, go straight across the, I want to say the Pacific, and yeah, go directly contact them. New Australia! Oh, I think that has to be the... It's not going to be tactically sound, but it's kind of the first one I want to make contact with. Who cares about America? Alright. So, that's all that I can do. Haven 5, Haven 4, Haven 5... Okay. Oh, Haven 6. I assume that higher haven number means they're a better base for me to sort of make contact with initially.
Avenger plotting new course.
No, wait, what are you doing? No! Oh, I didn't mean to click that.
Market is open.
Okay, that's great. Go away now. So while getting all areas in a region usually gives you a different bonus, like, not sure what America was exactly, but it's like, 20% off all research for the rest of the game. So it's well worth, building up the area you're in. But that being said, having a stronger haven might make my network a little less fragile, because if I go straight to New Mexico, that's only got 4, so I assume that's only 4 of these dudes working on jobs for me. And I do think I want to make contact with someone as soon as I can. So let's... Oh, but East Asia is such a big region. In order to get the bonus, I need to make contact with all 4 of them. As opposed to Australia, where I'd only need to make contact with 2 of them, I believe. Indonesia and Australia make up a little cabal by themselves. Wow, yeah, the world was a lot more interconnected in this. Sure, that's not gonna be a problem. So set resistance priorities. Oh, so these are my objectives. Discover a lead in process. Oh, I've got to liberate a region. Yeah, so there's a new thing. Rather than just essentially being, under constant alien threat in all regions, which is what was true in XCOM 2, you can actually fully liberate a region, which, unless the aliens launch a mission to take it back, it means, the resistance is just free to do whatever they want in there. There'll be no more sort of... I think it might reduce the missions, but there'll be no more sort of, attacks on the base, or, things like that, and I think you get maybe easier time at collecting resources. It also allows you to recruit scientists and engineers from the liberated regions, so I'm going to want to liberate things as much as I can. Also, in this one, the aliens will actually act like on a global scale. Like at the moment, they're spread around the whole world. They're going to have to actually physically move their resources from one place to another. So if I keep doing missions in one area, the alien presence in there is going to step up. But to do that, they're going to remove their resources from surrounding regions, which means I'll have a hole to go explore in the regions next to it. So, like, like guerrilla tactics on a global scale, hit and run, move on to the next unprotected place. You know what? Sod it. New Australia it is! Alright, make contact.
The initial intel cost to make contact. We'll have to scan the region for a few days before the local resistance cell comes out of hiding. Once we find them, we'll be up and running in the new region.
Alright, so I'm going to make contact with Australia. So yeah, intel's also used for making contact with new regions, so that's why I've got to manage that as well. Eventually I do want to make contact with and try and engage all the regions, but considering this is...
Using intel collected so far, we've managed to locate a resistance cell operating out of this region. It'll take us some time to scan for their exact position, though.
You know what? I think I am going to change that. Excuse me for a second. Gameplay. Where would it be? Ambient narrative. Nope. Enable soldier speak. Push to talk. Alright, see how that goes. Hopefully I get less of those. I mean, they're nice, but they keep coming over me when I want to talk. Alright. Alright, so making contact. Kind of set up a base in Australia. Alright, so soldier healing rate, retrain soldiers' abilities, new engineer, okay. So let's see what the new functionality of this. So scientist required. Oh, I need a scientist to heal? I thought it was an engineer. Damn, okay. That was unhelpful. I was hoping to put a soldier, my 2 soldiers straight in there to heal. What am I going to use? You know what, I'm not using many other supplies. I might go to the black market, get some more supplies, or get that scientist rather.
Commander will need to completely scan this region before we can establish contact
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
local resistance. I'd advise we stick around and finish the job, but the choice is yours.
I'll get to it later. Alright, so I think I am going to get that new scientist immediately. I think it's
Thank you
worth...
for sending additional support staff to assist me, Commander. I will make sure they are put to good use.
Yeah, you're not getting them immediately. I need him elsewhere. So, we're going to go back. Alright, we're going to assign the scientist to here. Increase healing rate by 100%. Oh, it halves healing. Perfect. Alright, so these two squad members will be back on their feet in no time. Now, what is this retrained soldier's ability? No soldiers available for advanced ability retraining. Okay, so they have to be over rookies. I'll see what that does, like whether it just retrains the abilities they already have or adds new abilities from outside their class. I'll play around when I get the chance, but at least now got a scientist, got fast healing, so that's going to help me for the rest of the game. And now I want to build a new facility, so I'm going to have to clean something out. So I get alien alloys and supplies for that, supplies for that, supplies for that. Now as I go down, it's going to take longer and longer, and the harder rooms I get to, it's going to be harder and harder to clear out. I might want to start with just one of the top rooms.
Commander, so far I haven't seen anything critical among the alien components left over in this area. If we clean this stuff out, we could probably use this space for a new facility.
Okay, so I'll begin excavating this rather. Evacuating? Ugh.
Excavation is underway, Commander, but it's going to take some time to get all that stuff cleared out.
Alright, 5 days. That's good. Alright, ready to go. Now let's see what the progress is with these missions, because I've been doing a lot of scanning. It's already at 117. Unless there's another mission I really need to go on, I might as well leave it, because this game will... It's supposed to warn you as soon as the mission's about to expire, so you can just immediately go in with whatever infiltration level you've managed to get to. So, and while I'm scanning somewhere else, new missions aren't going to pop up, which could be good, could be bad. If it runs off the same system that the Long War ran in the first XCOM, the more time you give the aliens, the more their research and their sort of tech is going to slowly go up. So trying to find a lot of easy missions now might give me a better boost than just sort of, you know, letting the aliens do whatever while I make contact with countries and then all of a sudden, oh my god, they have lasers in my face. So, yep, continue making contact with Australia for the moment. Yep, there we go. So, 193% infiltrated, enemy readiness vulnerable, mission expiring, must launch or abort. Excellent. So that's what I want to see. So, oh, readiness is the other factor. So I think enemy activity says how many troops are going to be on the board. Enemy readiness says what kind of equipment and how heavy these troops are going to be. I think vulnerable is one of the best ones you can get, obviously because I've infiltrated to 193%. This is the small squad. I can immediately boost infiltration with intel if I need to. I'm not going to need that for the early game, but I assume towards the end of the game I'm going to just be boosting constantly just to get those easier missions, just to try and make things a little bit kinder on myself. So that's what I'll end up using my intel for towards the late game, but for now I'm just going to keep it. View squad, infiltrating, launch mission. Alright, so I think that's probably going to do it for this episode.
We're moving in for an emergency extraction of a VIP working for the Resistance. The spokesman provided the coordinates, but the rest is up to us. Locate the VIP and escort them out of the area safely. Goes without saying, but don't leave any hostiles standing.
Alright, yep, so I'm going to leave it here. Once the loading screen is over, I'll start the next episode. Thank you all for watching. Again, let me know what I'm doing. I'm sort of recording these all in a row, partly because I just want to, you know, be able to release a couple of these videos at a time and give myself a buffer so life doesn't get in the way of my release schedule. And also because I just really am genuinely excited to be playing this game, and I really want to keep playing it, so sort of my motivation to keep making videos is to keep playing this game, because I really want to just spend like 5 or 6 hours just marathoning this. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video. You stuck with me with this long, you might as well watch the rest of the series. Okay, bye!